Awesome. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Show and Tell Show yet again, episode number 21. Can you guys believe we've done 21 episodes of this? Crazy. Anyway, so welcome back. Last week, we were challenged by Penetanguishene Centennial Museum to bring our school stuff out. So since you challenged us, let's see what you have, Penetanguishene Centennial.
All right, so what I have here is I have the first yearbook from the Penetanguishene Secondary School in 1966. So a little bit of history of the schooling system in Penetanguishene. We had a high school. The first high school opened in 1938, and it was the Penetanguishene High School, and it burned down in 1955. And so from 1955 to 1966, they amalgamated. There was the Midland Penetanguishene District High School. You might be familiar. Maybe you have some things in your archives about that. So it was two high schools in one building, but they didn't really mingle. One would be, they'd be in the same building, but they were on different levels and different times. So I remember them saying, people from Penetanguishene said that they'd start different times at that high school than the Midland. And so they were there waiting to get a new high school built, and it was built in 1966, and it closed in 2016, and then once again amalgamated with the Midland Secondary School and became the Georgian Bay High School. And Georgian Bay District High School, I think it's called. And so once it closed, we did get a lot of artifacts about the Penetanguishene Secondary School, because we wanted to make sure that they kept in the community. They didn't sort of go off to the education department and be lost somewhere. And so we got the full yearbooks and all kinds of different memorabilia from the high school. And so this here is the first yearbook. It's interesting because in it, they don't have any photography. It was actually done by the English department and the art department and the commercial department. The commercial department, I'm sure, got a lot of these sponsorships, and they actually drew all the pictures of everyone see, this is a graduating class.
That's awesome.
And they're amazing. They have incredible art department. Even, like some of their school, like their team sports, they actually drew them everywhere. When they drew the teachers, they were all cartoon characters. So it was actually quite amusing to look through this and see all of the art pieces that were in there. By the second year, they became a little bit more traditional. They did have photographs, but they didn't do individuals. They did them by classroom. And then so there you can see all the different classrooms. So this first one is quite the treasure because it is quite different than all the other ones that preceded it, and it's the first. So that's our artifact.
Wow, that's nice. Really cool. Wow, what do we have, Genevieve?
Well, I was going to bring something very grave and edifying and improving, but in light of this new lockdown and the crummy weather, I thought I would bring something a little more light and fluffy. So what I have are some photographs from the Central School. I guess it was originally called the West Ward School in Midland. And there it is right there. Oh, wow. It was at the corner of 3rd Street, southwest corner of 3rd Street and Dominion Avenue in Midland, where the municipal building is. Oh. So what I have here are two photographs from the senior 4th 1924 class. Here are all the students. I think it might be a bit difficult to see, but here are the students with their teacher marked in red, Mr. Claire Follis. He was the principal and the teacher of the senior 4th. And so it's just a typical school class. Some of the kids are smiling or, the boys are trying to look a bit funny. But there's another photo that I found in the collection that was given to us by an entirely different donor. And this one It's a little bit hard to see, but this one is much different. Someone looks like they've told a joke and all the kids are laughing, even the teacher. It is so amazing. In this photograph, this was donated by a relative of Mr. Follis, and what he's written on the back is wonderful youth, all 52 of them. And I just thought that was such a wonderful sentiment. But I've also brought in from that same year, 1924, the Central School's Chatterbox. It was a publication that was put together by the school's literary society. We only have 2 of them in the collection, both from 1924. So I don't know if it was something that they regularly did or if it was a one-off. It was printed by the Midland Free Press, and there are advertisements inside from a number of different businesses in town. But what's really interesting is that you can see, I guess, the relationship, the sort of gentle, good-natured ribbing between the students and their teacher. He was the honorary president. Mr. Follis was the honorary president of the Literary Society. And so you can see by the comments that the kids make about him, you know, in everyday activities, the kind of rapport that their relationship, the good relationship that they had with their teacher. And he sounds like a really wonderful fella. I don't know how long he was in the area. We do have some dates. I know we've got some photographs of him from 1921 and then another from 1927. And this photograph is actually marked with his stamp, and it says that at one point he was living in Oshawa. So I know that he is not buried in Midland. So at some point he left the area to probably teach or act as a principal at another larger school, which is unfortunate for the kids in Midland and in Central School. But anyway, it was really nice to come across these things. Yeah, so there.
I love the haircut on some of the girls.
Oh, they're little bobs. Yeah, some of them, it's funny because they get their hair cut, they get the bob, but they still have that sort of Hermione Granger fluffy hair.
Yeah.
So they're not quite sleek the way a flapper would be. So.
Yeah.
Wow. Or me for that matter. Anyway, next week's challenge, next Wednesday is National Tea Day.
Oh.
And I am sure, like, I don't know that there's a museum out there that doesn't have something to do with tea in its collection. So I think we've probably, we can bring out some stellar pieces next week for National Tea Day. So that's the challenge, something tea related, or you can just spill tea, which apparently that's what the kids are all saying. You know, so. Yeah, you can either bring something tea related or a piece of gossip, one of the two.
Oh, that kind of tea.
Oh, they're calling it spill the tea now?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
spill the tea. You have some gossip. Tell me what's going on. Yeah.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
You need some teenagers in your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not all it's cracked up to be some days, I tell you.
I know. Yeah, they're gloomy.
God, I feel old. Anyway, thanks for joining us again. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week, same time, same channel, Show and Tell Show.